Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of
Mom and Son Podcast. This is Rose Rest Fausto, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And Anton Fausto, the son.
Okay, so last week we had the part 1 of our fun conversation with Edward, your co-VJ.
Yes, VJ Edward.
VJ Edward
VJ
John
Bounce.
Abeliera Barber. That's his complete name pala. The mom is a Filipina from La Union. And she's an Abellera.
Alright, so let's get to it. Here is part 2 of our interview. So nag-post nga ako. I posted if anybody has any questions about Edward's life and career. And can I just say, dumami na talaga yung followers ko. So, thank you, VJ Edward. In 12 hours, dumagdag na ako ng 100 followers. So, if you haven't followed me, at Dormy Fausto.
And FQ Mom also.
And FQ Mom, my mom naman. Okay. Sige, our first question comes from at @azahleya_MW. Okay, we're gonna make our first question, medyo madali pa to. Which do you prefer? Beanie, cap, or headband?
Ay, depende yun, bro. At the moment, it really depends. I wear all three. I love wearing stuff on my head. A headband, I need to look like I fixed my hair, but I don't really know how to fix my hair. But I get it.
Okay.
Because especially now my hair is long, and if I put product, it's just gonna fall flat. A cap is always safe for an event and just to cover up. A beanie is just more for casual because beanies tend to look scruffier. So I'll use it for more casual stuff, just personal things. But a headband and a cap is always safe for me.
Okay, wow. That was gonna be a big... That's like a boxer's or briefs question. Pero tama nga yung mom ko. She's saying that you love to explain stuff. Okay, let's go to our next question.
Okay. So before you were saying that your dream job was to be a writer. So how do you now see because you're now Edward Barber, how do you see yourself now 10 to 20 years? How do you see yourself 10 to 20 years from now?
I see myself...
You'd be Robbie's age.
I'll be almost 40. Like if it's 20 years...
20,
yeah. If it's 10, it's Robbie. It's Kuya Robbie.
By that time, I think in the next 10 years, I want to be married or I want to have started a family.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself as a big part or doing a lot more than I am currently in my church.
Mm-hmm.
Because just a side note, my faith has helped me through immense things in the industry. I would never have been able to get through it without it. So be part of my church, have a family already, be in my... I've always wanted a man cave.
Ooh, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
My plan or my dream at the moment, if I can afford it comfortably in future, which hopefully in the next 10 to 20 years I will be able to, is to replicate my childhood home in Germany here in the Philippines.
Okay.
I'm gonna build it with the exact same design. Gonna get the architect to do it.
Really?
It's been my dream, and if it's a lot of people say don't do that. It's expensive. It's like why would you not want a new home? But for me, it's more
it's home.
I loved my house as a kid, and I always thought I would wish that I didn't have a mansion, but
what's the style of your house in Germany?
It's a very it's not really clear, but it's a very typical German style.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
A very unique trait of our house is that we had, on the top floor, we had a circular window.
Uh-huh.
And that was really weird. Like, if you look in Germany, if you drive through the houses, they don't have, every house sort of looks the same. And ours was there with, this circular window. And it wasn't really cool, but it looked different. So everyone was like, why do you have circular windows? And I remember just wanting that. And I don't think I'm going to be in the industry in 10 to 20 years.
Is that right? So you'd be a writer?
God bless. But I don't think so. I mean, honestly, I think if anything, I'm going to do anything with writing in the future.
Uh-huh.
It will be script writing.
Okay.
Well, that's still in the industry naman.
Yeah, but not as an artist. I don't think as an artist. But I don't know if that's going to be my main job. Because in 10 to 20 years, if I've been in the industry for another 10 years, and I were to leave at around that time, I would have such immense knowledge of how the industry works, how advertising works, So I was always thinking like if I could be like a consultant to different companies if they want to figure out if social media is always evolving. So if I understand how things work, it would, and I've been like an influencer for years already. Then I don't know what my plan is really, but that's how I see myself, to have all the things that I want at the moment. I'm gonna be having it comfortably in the next 10 years, I hope.
So it's settling in the Philippines that you see right now, just replicating your German house. Did I get that correctly?
100%. I'm not leaving the Philippines regardless.
But your house is still there? Your house is still there?
Yeah, my dad still lives there because he has his work in Germany. But my sister, my mom, and I are here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually related to our next question, coming from @Evelyn.Lariosa. If ever Sir Kevin, which is your father, wants to retire and wants to hand you the business, what will you do?
For me, I know for a fact he's not going to hand me the business if I'm still working here. But my dad's been part of his current business, BNI, for 15 years. I think he started in 2005. And he's built up a lot. He's done a lot for this. You know, it's become his not really his legacy, because my sister and I are his legacy.
Yeah.
It was his child as well for a long time. So the thing is, when he voiced out, because my dad is actually my co-manager as well, so he works alongside my handler in Star Magic, and he said like he wants to make sure he has more time for us. So he's working on lessening responsibilities within his business to make more time for us
family
here in the Philippines. But I think, like, my dad is always talking about, my dad can't stay still, especially with business. He's talking about running the Elm Tree Foundation. He's talking about doing more charity work here, because that's something that he really loves to do. But he's also thinking about investments here. His mind is always, you know, my mom says my dad always has a monkey. You know the monkey with the, I don't know, the clapping thing where it claps?
Yes. The battery.
And my mom always says that he always has a monkey on his shoulder telling him to do something else. He always has so many ideas.
Where did your mom and dad meet?
My mom was a stewardess in Emirates before.
Okay.
The airline.
Yeah.
And they met through a friend. I always thought that they met on the airplane because I thought it was so romantic, but apparently that wasn't true. They met through a friend who was also a stewardess, I think. Mom, I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
What's German and what's Pinoy about you?
German? Hopefully nothing.
But your dad is British German, is that right?
My dad is pure British. My mom is
pure British.
Pinay.
Okay. So what is British?
I'm British Filipino.
What is British about you? And you can add German na rin, because that's where you were born and that's where you grew up. And what is Pinoy?
I don't think there's many. No, there's not really too many parts of me. I don't think they're German, even though I grew up there. I went to a European school. I had a lot of, like, my group of friends. We were the most diverse group of people ever. I had friends that, like, none of us were of the same nationality. So I was British Filipino. I had a friend who was Irish Pakistani. And Nigerian Danish. So it's like really
international.
Mix it up.
Like
Mix it up.
Mix it up, yeah. And so what's British about me? I don't think much either, because I really remember growing up and really being different. I was the only Pinoy kid in my school other than my sister. And if I went to the Philippines, I was a foreigner.
Yes.
If I went to England, I was a German because I grew up in Germany. And if I when I was in Germany, they considered me Asian. Like, I don't look too Asian, like the Asian stereotypes that, you know. But I grew up with that. Racism was a big part of my life as well when I was a kid, and bullying as well. So I grew up with that. So wherever I went, I was never, I never fit in. And I realized when I went to PBB and when I came out how special that was, that I never fit in. Like, I grew up always wanting to fit in. Like, I just want to have the same haircut. I want to wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
I want to be like the cool kids. And I realized when I went to PBB and when I came out and I saw that people actually appreciated me for who I am, that was one of the most amazing experiences ever, because like my followers went up, and then when the kids who bullied me back in Germany saw that I was who I am now, it was crazy because they couldn't bully me anymore. And
gave you that
it was
confidence.
great to be able to get past that. Yeah, not just that. It was what really gave me confidence is that I didn't have to do anything. You know,
That's
God,
good.
God did it all for me, and God blessed me with this experience. And so I never even had to say a word to any of my bullies. I know one of the guys that really bullied me in high school. He's I don't want to say anything bad about him because I've forgiven him now, but he's studying art and his grades aren't good. So I know he works at a gas station now. So he was one of the coolest kids.
Oh wow!
He was buying Louis Vuitton, Burberry. He's working at a gas station now. So for me, it's just sometimes you don't have to do anything. God's gonna fight your battles for you. So it was amazing. Yeah.
Does he know how popular you are now here in the Philippines?
He's still back in Germany. I haven't talked to him in years.
So,
So
okay.
that's fine with me.
Okay.
No, there's no need to.
I'm going to send him an anonymous message.
Wow. Anyway, speaking of that, may quick kwento nga ako. There was one time, I remember, we had a taping for Mix, and then we were in a mall. And then, so we were walking around looking for some place to eat. In mga 5 minutes, there was like a small group of people already walking behind us. And they were, as in I could see the whispers na parang, si Edward
si
Barber yata
Edward.
yun, ganyan. I was thinking, wow, that's the life you have to live. Parang that comes with it. That comes with being, going from PBB and doing what you do. So the next question comes from @DaleJohn22. He says, just want to know how Edward's parents handle their son's haters and bashers. Kasi yun nga, it's a reality in it, and you're
Part
still
of it.
growing. Yeah, you're still young. I'm still young. How do your parents deal with it?
Of course, my parents, they're protectors. Of course, they, even if I can imagine, if I had a son, the only thing I can really compare it to is that if I have a sister, and if anyone says anything about my sister, even if I just fought with my sister, I will tear that person up. I don't care about who they are, what they do. It gets my blood boiling, and I can only imagine how it is for my parents. But my dad's automatic instinct, if he hears any bashing, or of course, his first instinct is to protect me. And so is my mom, but my mom's not as bothered by it as my dad, I feel. Like, my dad's like, I want to release a statement, saying don't, all of this. My mom's like, Edward, are you okay with it? Okay, you're okay with it, then I'll be fine.
So there's a balance.
But, yeah, there's a balance. But for both my parents, I don't want them doing anything. Because they don't need to do anything. I mean, regardless, whatever happens. This is something I was actually thinking about earlier today, so forgive me if medyo deep to, but I want to...
No, it's okay.
I like deep.
Like, for me, regardless of what you do in the industry, right or wrong, sometimes even by association, you're already prosecuted. And at the end of the day, I don't really want my fans or anyone who supports me to be reliant on myself for happiness. I don't want them to idolize me or worship me. And a lot of people might think that's weird because, fame is fame, but fame doesn't make you happy, neither does money. And I don't want anyone to worship me because I'm only human. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna do something. And even if I haven't done anything wrong and I try to avoid it, I'm still gonna disappoint people in some ways. And so more than I don't want anyone to worship me because I'm gonna make mistakes. And I only want them to trust in God more than they trust in me because God's perfect and I'm not. So in that way, I just don't want people to be, oh, ang galing niya, he's awesome. Tomorrow I could make a mistake that ruins my career. Of course, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try
sana
not
naman.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I do because I'm human and I'm gonna make mistakes. So I want that to be very clear as well. Like you can think that a person's life is perfect and they're perfect and they've never made a mistake before, but regardless of how amazing you are, you're going to make mistakes in that person, in the supporters' eyes, in the fans' eyes.
Wow.
So, yun lang. I wanted to make that very open as well.
Yeah, well, it's good then that you're honest about it. That's the reality naman. That's the truth of it. We have a few more questions. The next one naman, okay, on the other side of it naman, to make things a little lighter, this one's from @Mueno_TeamLive4. Sabi niya, anong secret ni Edward on why he looks so oppa?
What's oppa?
Oppa is like a Korean...
Oh, that's the Korean?
When... I don't know
Super
the...
handsome?
Yeah, basta yung
gorgeousness.
or heartthrob in Korea, they call them oppa.
Oppa.
Something like that. Oh, Edward, what is your secret?
Ivy Clinic.
Ivy Clinic.
I'm not even kidding.
Gotta plug that.
It's two components. It's the Ivy Clinic and as well as my glam team. My glam team, my makeup artist at the Amy, Amy Gray, as well as Owen Sarmiento, Rain Nagala for styling, and then J Mar for my hair. Honestly, without them, I would look like a troll.
I do have a question. Were you considered handsome in the setting of your school in Germany? Because you're here, when you're here, you really are, because you're tisoy, it's quite rare. But how was it in your school in Germany?
That's a funny question.
In my school, I remember when I was a kid, I was, like, when I say kid, like 8-9 years old.
Yes.
I was really cute because I was chubby.
You were chubby.
Before I went into DVD, I was really a chubby kid. For them, I was cute when I was like, chubby cheeks and jiggly. And then as soon as we hit puberty, and every girl wanted like the fit, confident, the athlete that had
Nalaos.
bottom of the pack now. Like the only, I accepted the fact before that the only girlfriend I would get would be someone who accepted. I was a very sensitive kid. I understood my emotions from a very young age until now. So Anton, that's why when we were talking about relationships, like I understand, and I was always the mediator between my friends and their girlfriends.
Did you have a girlfriend in Germany?
Never.
What?
I got rejected 3 times straight. I'm never in Germany ever.
Wait.
Not one.
Next question. This one's my favorite question. From @LuzVSmith_MWDS. Kamusta si VJ Anton as a VJ?
Are you sure this is from you?
No, it's from
them, or
it's from @LuzVSmith_MWDS.
So you try to answer it as honestly as you
Yes.
can, okay? I promise Anton will not harm you, whatever you answer, however you answer this question.
Honestly, from the very first day of being a VJ, or when we were still at the press conference, you remember the first press conference when Sir Anthony was still there?
Yeah.
It was like in ABS, on the top floor of ABS. My first impression of you was, honestly, straight away, I was like, if I'm going to get along with any other VJ other than Robbie, it's going to be Anton.
Oh,
really?
That's the right answer.
Yeah. And then seriously, I was like, okay, there was even a point where I was asking Nick if we could do like a cooking show.
Yeah.
Like, I was remember doing that. They didn't do it. So.
And why was that?
Okay.
Why did you feel that way?
Because, like, I don't know, I felt like Anton is I'm a very quiet person. Outside of work, you won't see me, I'm an extreme extrovert. I'm really loud when I'm with people I'm comfortable with. But when I'm at work, or when I am with people that I'm not so, not so sure about, not so close with, I'm there quiet in the background. You won't see me doing a lot. With Maya and I, she's the loud one, I'm the quiet one.
Yeah,
so like
good.
Anton is like really
The
he
loud
always
one?
finds a way. Not loud. It's more like there's always a continuous conversation
Oh
going,
wow! Thank you.
which is
It is
a
our
very
jobs.
hard thing to do, for me at least. So like, okay, he has some very good points, and I can discuss things with him. Like Anton and I still could debate for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that in our Mix It Up episodes.
I thought you were gonna say that you smelled the zombie fondness in him as well.
Are you a fan of zombies?
Yeah, I actually read the World War Z. I used to have a zombie survival book. So that's my thing. Zombies, not more than vampires.
Since he was young.
Werewolves, zombies talaga.
Zombie.
Oh yeah, zombies talaga ako.
Yeah.
I thought the vampires were slightly more feminine.
So, this has been a very fun and wonderful, really...
and informative.
Yes, very informative, very deep sometimes, kwentuhan with you. So, we'd like to end with a fast talk, Edward. And when we say fast talk, you don't need to explain your answers,
Yeah.
okay?
This
You
one,
just,
okay.
it's top of the mind thing, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Cat or dog?
Dog.
Mestiza or morena?
Morena.
Long hair or short hair?
Long hair.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Morning or evening?
Evening.
Inihaw or sinigang?
Sinigang, for sure.
Oh.
Christmas or New Year?
Christmas.
Chinese food or Japanese food?
Japanese food, hands down. No contest.
Romantic movie or horror movie?
Oh, I don't like horror. Romantic movie.
Singing or dancing?
Hosting.
Same.
Okay, so thank you very much for being
Yes.
game. And I really hope to see you soon also in person.
I hope so too, po. It's a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah, and
Thanks
have
for
that
having me on the
FQ
podcast.
conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have that FQ conversation.
All right. Thanks again, Edward. Really
All right,
appreciate
thank you.
this.
Last message for the listeners.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
have any parting
Do you have
words?
any last message?
To everyone currently at home in quarantine, I hope all of you are safe. Everyone's okay. I want to continue to urge everyone, please, as much as possible, stay in your homes. Of course, as habang tumatagal yung quarantine, I feel that it's wearing off. People don't think it's as serious anymore. But of course, in order to help those around us and the frontliners, please stay at home. Take care of yourselves. Listen to this podcast again and again, as well as mix it up. And I hope everyone's safe. And last but not least, don't forget to pray, because there's a real strength in prayer. Yun lang. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Alright, so that's it. Thank you again, Edward, for your time for our episodes. And once again, this is Anton Fausto the Sun
And this is Rose Fres Fausto, FQ Mom.
for another episode of
Mom and Son Podcast.
Bye, guys. The Mom and Son Podcast airs every Tuesday, 7 a.m. and can be streamed on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout.com, and YouTube. Just search Mom and Son Podcast for your weekly dose of family, finance, passions, and everything in between. Leave a comment so other listeners may find this podcast. If you have any questions or suggested topics, email us at antonfausto@gmail.com.